Hey guys, I'm going to take a quick look at a limit hold'em hand that I played in a live game yesterday. I have it queued up here in Power Solver, and the way the hand went, Hijack opened, I defended the big blind with 10-4 of hearts. Flop was Queen Jack 10 rainbow with 1 heart, check back call. Turn was the King of hearts, which seemed like an interesting card. I decided to check and call, and the river paired the queen, and I checked and folded to a bet, and got shown pocket sixes for a bluff. And I thought it was worth some analysis, so I'm going to take a look through here and kind of show you guys my process when I have a hand from a live game that I am curious about. Obvious stuff first. On flop, villain basically bets his whole range, which makes sense. He has a massive range advantage on Queen Jack 10, and we see something pretty common in Power Solver, which is that we're folding a lot, so we're raising a lot. We fold 38%. Makes sense. We have all sorts of trash, and we really can't do anything against villain's range, which is completely uncapped. I noticed that the thinnest value raises we start having are from Queen X. So we mix in some raises with like some Queen X with backdoor flush draw. Queen 8 is the thinnest queen that raises with no backdoor flush draw because it can pick up the gutter. Queen 9 makes sense, more equity, blah, blah, blah. And then our bluffs come from some King X combos. Notice that some Ace X combos do a little bit of bluffing, backdoor flush draws. Many do not. We wonder why this is, but there's an easy answer, which is look what happens when we raise. Where do villain's folds come from? 4s, 5s, 6s, 7s, 7, 6 suited, 6, 5 suited. So we really want him to have these hands. So if we go back one step, it doesn't make much sense to check raise bluff with a hand with a 7 or a 6 in it, because those are the hands that we're targeting. Anyway, I called. Turn was the King of Hearts. We have 0 leads. Notice that villain double barrels 80%. Let's look at his range a little bit. He's betting all of his straights, so we see 0 slow plays. He's doing a ton of barreling with his no equity hands like small pairs. Most of his checks are coming from 2 pair and some small straights, so some hands that have a 9 in them to protect his range a little bit, it looks like. And also those hands are just not getting that much value, right? Anyway, he bets a lot. And then we notice something interesting, which is kind of where I screwed up the hand. My hand, 10-4 of hearts, mostly wants to raise. Why does this happen? Because we pretty much have the nuts, or not very much at this point. Look at all the Ace X that we have that peeled the flop. All of these hands are the current nuts. We are folding all those King X. We're only really continuing with calls with hands that are 2 pair plus. King 10, Queen 10, Jack 10, and straights, small straights. Every 9X is a call. So our raising range is very polar. We're raising the nuts, and we're raising some bluffs. And most of our bluffs look like my hand. 10-8 of hearts, 10-7 of hearts, etc. Jack 3 is throwing in some bluffs because I just need more bluffs. And again, when we raise, we are trying to get him to fold certain hands, and it looks like here we're targeting the King X that bet for protection, and all the small hands that we're just trying to keep ourselves from getting bluffed by, since we're probably going to have to fold the river. He folds 26% of his range, so it's pretty substantial, and it does make sense. Anyway, I called. Small mistake. I guess we can look at really quick how big of a mistake it is. Should we look at the EV? So, yeah, it's basically 0 EV difference. Obviously, we can't fold. It's plus 80 to continue, so not a big deal. But this is where our bluffs would come from in theory. River, Queen, 0 leads. He bets again 75% of the time. He still has all the straights. He has a bunch of boats. The only hands that he's checking are King X. We notice that he's supposed to give up with some of his bluffs. I actually think villain in-game would probably find the triple barrel with many of these combos. It's interesting to think that 6s or something should give up at this point, but as the pot size grows, he's just going to get called. And we see when he bets that we have all of our 9 high straights to call, and notice that some of them are even a little bit indifferent, particularly the ones that block bluffs, like the ones that block 7-6 suited, 6s, things like that, are basically indifferent at this point. If we look at the EV, it's basically 0 EV for calling. So this means that villain's only supposed to be betting ace high straights and chops and full houses, and we're really not doing very well against that. Our hand, pure fold, calling would lose 20, so really nothing to lose sleep over there other than the opportunity to have check raise the turn, which I missed. But anyway, I think it was a little bit of interesting analysis and some small things that came out of this that I would not have found in the game, and I'm glad I looked it up. So let me know if you have any questions.